Hi, Sandra with the Unhealed Healer, and I just got off the phone with my mother. It, I was feeling extremely sad because my son's birthday is tomorrow, and he's turning 18. It's a great birthday for him, but I haven't been able to or been allowed to talk to him or see him. And I was feeling extremely emotional, and so I called my mother thinking that maybe it would make me feel better. She would know somehow what to say to me, which with all the readings and studies that I do, I would know by this point that the sadness, the shame, the guilt, it's not for someone else to take on. It's for me to work on in my personal working of my mind rituals that I do every day. And my therapist, I could call my therapist, and possibly not my mom. And so this is what I wanted to address in relationships with your families. Sometimes you have to understand what they can offer as far as love, because I know that my family doesn't deliberately hurt me, but they do because they don't understand. They don't understand what mental illness is. They don't understand what addiction is, even though they themselves struggle with it. But they live on this mentality that, oh, I thought we passed this already. Oh, I thought we got over this again. And not that I'm using again, but I just had this conversation with her where I was just offering examples, because actually the conversation that I called to try and help myself feel better started turning into a huge argument with her. And I happen to be talking about the fact that they don't understand, and they feel very uncomfortable around me because they don't understand what addiction is, or what it is to talk to or even be at a place where they can be emotionally supportive for these chronic disease, chronic illness. And she said to me, oh, I thought we got past the drug use, like as if she's saying that what she understood that I said is that I'm using again, that I still have this problem. And I said to her, I'm like, no, Ma, I'm not using again. I was just saying as an example that she does not understand what I'm saying or what I'm talking about as far as how to speak to somebody who's going through these physical, mental struggles. And still, she went into these stories about how she had to go through a lot of emotional pain with us, because I was very rebellious growing up. And so she was always trying to control me, and I was always trying to get away and argue and all this type of stuff. But I left the conversation with a big I love you, and I said to her, Ma, I want to leave this conversation. I called you because I was feeling really sad about not being able to see Frankie on a very special day, and that I'm missing so many beautiful, beautiful episodes with him. I guess I don't mean to say episodes, I just mean to say moments. And his 18th birthday, I thought at one point that I finally had somebody to love unconditionally, and that I would experience what motherhood was, at a level of gratitude and pure love and just everything being beautiful. And unfortunately, it didn't turn out that way. And I am missing a lot of special moments within this year. And it just makes me feel sad and alone. And I try to explain to her that, or in my head, actually I didn't go into this with her, but I did explain that in my own head, that, even if I was using again, or I was in that type of trouble again, the last thing as a family member or somebody who's supporting somebody that is that has this problem, right? Chronic drug use or mental disorder, that you never want to say, oh, I thought you got over this, because what you're creating is a place of like dead end. There's a dead end to me being able to feel that I can call and talk to you about what I'm experiencing. And I know that she does not want to create this type of environment. Like, she's the type of mom that would want me to call her and talk to her about these problems. And yet, even when I try and help her to be able to talk to me, she still goes back to where she feels like I'm attacking her, or she feels that she needs to explain away why I wasn't invited to any family gatherings this holiday season. And it's like the second year where I'm not invited. I mean, I guess last year it was because I was in the detox center, but this year there was really no excuse except that they were choosing their own comfortability and my son's comfortability over my being with them and sharing as a family, what is going on. And it just seems to me like, I don't know if it's the Hispanic culture or Colombian culture, but there's a definite mentality of, of sort of like this judgment of, how much I can help you, like a limit on how much they can help or not help. And there's this limit on how much love, I guess, you can offer somebody, or advice, because it's sort of like when you offer somebody advice and yet it keeps failing the advice, they feel like, oh, I'm not gonna keep trying. And to believe that that person isn't doing their best effort, especially if they're talking about it, they're exposing themselves. I'm talking about me, like all the stuff that I'm doing, I'm not trying to do all these things, in a way that, I want to do any of the other stuff. Anyway, I feel like I'm vomiting right now, like vomiting this emotional feelings. And what I want to finalize with this is that like if you're experiencing like this type of feelings and this type of dilemma with your family, and this is your story too, what you can do for yourself, which is what I'm gonna do for myself, is pray, take out my Course in Miracles book and read. do my lesson for the day, which is God is with me always. That's lesson 41. And it's about meditating and getting deep in your meditation where you feel you have that connection with the Almighty, with the infinite source energy. And I started tapping. And I'll speak to you guys more about what tapping is, but it's a form of, you can say acupuncture, but without the needle, and you do it to yourself. EFT, I think it's called. And I just started using it, so I'm not truly comfortable in explaining what it is because I'm learning myself. And this is something I want to eventually speak more to, practice with you guys possibly, and eventually make it part of who I am. So, relationships. I want to know if anybody has experienced this with their family, is experiencing this with their family. If you could share what you do, what are some things you do to not argue or make an argument higher or worse than it actually is, where you had good intentions and it turned into a bad situation, a bad speaking situation. Please share with me your thoughts, your ideas, your feelings, and share with me like what you do to get past the heaviness and that emotional trap that you get involved in, where it's about how painful you're feeling inside, where eventually you feel so much pain that you do use. So where do you go to not allow yourself to get down that rabbit hole where it ends up self-sabotage and self-blame, self-hate? Yes. Thank you for listening. Thank you for allowing me to share with you my experience. And it's more than allowing me. It's more about offering. I'm offering the love I feel for my son here with you, and hoping that at some level someone else's story touches me and inspires me as well. Thank you for joining me. I'm Sandra. This is the Unhealed Healer. One more time, and I'll say goodbye. I hope you're having a great week. Bye.